Hello, welcome to another edition of the Enhancement Talent. I am Eric Cornish with 99.5 WKDQ. My partner in crime, The Rob from 106.1 KISS FM, not here today, feeling a little under the weather, but I'll take care of things today. And we've got a very special show because later on, not only will we give you the info on how you could win tickets to the WWE Live when it comes to town, but we'll also be talking about that show with WWE superstar and winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania, Cesaro, will be joining me in a little while. So we'll have another chance for you to hear that interview coming up. Right now, let's talk about the wrestling world. And normally we just kind of focus on WWE, but today as WWE, kind of starts their new fiscal year, all coming off of WrestleMania. A lot of other things revolving around the wrestling business this week. And it kind of involves things outside the wrestling world. The big talk this week, and I don't want to focus too much on it because it seems like everybody is, and that's kind of what this lady likes. And her name, dun dun dun, Nancy Grace. Yeah, Nancy Grace always likes to try to pull in big ratings anytime a wrestling tragedy happens. And let's face facts, she's done very well every time that happens. So she doesn't mind stirring up a little bit of controversy, but she kind of cornered DDP, bringing him onto the show, thinking he's going to kind of talk about, his guys, his boys, Scott Hall and Jake the Snake Roberts, that went into the Hall of Fame after getting so much help from him and his DDP yoga. And yet, first thing she does is corner him about the death of the Ultimate Warrior. And she continued to say the same line over and over again. Rumors are swirling of drug use and steroids, and I don't think any rumors were swirling except the ones that she was creating herself. And now that the autopsy has come out today, it just released. The Ultimate Warrior died, as many assumed, of a massive heart attack, and that he did suffer from a form of heart disease, which is not directly involved with drugs or alcohol. So, Nancy Grace, there you go. Very irresponsible on her part, but again, she's looking to get ratings, she's looking to get attention, and she sure got a lot of it out of this. But for her to scroll just a list of names of wrestlers who had died, period, behind her, and then continue to mention, steroids, I think was very wrong. I mean, she had people on the list like Owen Hart, and we all know how Owen Hart died. She had people on the list like referee Mark Curtis, who died of cancer, on the list. You can't lump that group of people who had a certain profession and just happened to have died into that rumor swirling of drug use and all that stuff. So, there's a petition out there to get her off the air. Of course, that's never going to happen. I mean, this is her job to cause controversy and get her name out there. So, well done if that was your goal, Nancy Grace. But this profession of professional wrestling, yes, there has been steroids involved in the past. There has been drugs and alcohol involved in the past, and that's no secret. But the fact is, when the Ultimate Warrior passed away, it was a horrible tragedy. He had, made peace with everybody in his past that he had problems with, and just had a wonderful weekend. And the simple fact that he has a beautiful wife and two beautiful daughters who loved him very much, and you could tell that WrestleMania weekend, that now you're putting them in this swirling controversy, and that's just wrong. But anyway, she's got to get her ratings, I guess. Anyway, also want to talk about some other things that have gone on actually pretty close to the tri-state here. First of all, let's talk about Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett announcing last week that indeed they are starting a new wrestling company, and it will be Global Force Wrestling. Now, we don't know much else about it, just that they are going to start it, and they've been traveling worldwide trying to scout talent. So that should be interesting. I'm very interested in this because the Jarrett family has run wrestling for many, many years. I mean, Christine Jarrett, even before Jerry Jarrett, his mother, and Christine Jarrett spent many nights just about 4 blocks that way, right there at the Evansville Coliseum in the ticket office and all that stuff. So, they know a lot about wrestling. Jerry Jarrett partnered up with Jerry the King Lawler, ran Memphis Wrestling for many years, and then, of course, Jerry and Jeff together co-founded TNA. They know a lot about the wrestling business. They were miles ahead of the game for many, many years. So I don't see this going bad. I mean, if they get a good TV deal out of this, you could see a really good product. I'm very excited about Global Force Wrestling. Now, on the opposite side of this, some interesting news coming out this weekend. Two different shows are reporting that Jeff and Karen Jarrett were unruly backstage at their shows. One of which is IWA Mid-South, which took place just outside of Louisville, a couple hours down the road, and an infamous promoter, I will say that, Ian Rotten. Heard a lot of things about him. You know, he broke a lot of the big stars that are in the business right now. Guys like, CM Punk, for example. Well, I say in the business right now, but you know what I mean. But broke a lot of those guys and had them wrestling, in little barns and bars in Louisville. But also known for extreme hardcore wrestling, a lot of that. And also, over the years, his business practices have been called into question a few times by some notable legends. But he is claiming that Jeff Jarrett, who was upset about a payoff, and rightfully so, because he only got paid half of what he was supposed to, and they said in 2 or 3 days you will get your money, Jeff. I've run some wrestling shows before, and I'm here to tell you that's probably not a good business practice. But he said, hey, he screwed up, and he will get his money. Well, Jeff apparently was not happy with this, and rumors have it that he even maybe assaulted Ian's 17-year-old son, knocked his glasses off his face, or took his glasses hostage or something until he got his money. Some eyewitnesses are saying that Jeff and Karen were both intoxicated at the time. Don't know what to think about that. I don't know. I've never worked with Jeff Jarrett. I don't know him personally. Don't know Karen Jarrett. Don't know Ian Rotten for that matter. But I can only assume that they will figure this out in court at some point, I guess. But what's even more interesting about this is that the very next night, a show over in Illinois, somebody is also reporting that Karen Jarrett went on a tear when her pictures weren't being sold at the merchandise stands, and she's wanting money. And they're saying that she was unruly and that she yelled at a bunch of people. So 2 days in a row, all of a sudden we have all this news about Jeff and Karen Jarrett, who we really haven't heard much about. And it also just happens to be the week after they announced their new wrestling promotion. All I can assume is any PR is good PR, maybe? Could be. We'll see. But anyway, that's what's going on outside of the WWE TV program. And of course, we're all back tonight. And of course, we hit the reset button last week. We can only go up for here. And I think we will start to see some of the cards shape up for Extreme Rules. It remains to be seen. But hope you check out our next video, because we'll give you the info on how you can win your WWE tickets, and also my interview with Cesaro, the King of Swing.